Come back to Let's Play Higurashi Minagoroshi. As usual, I always have to check that's recording properly. Well, at least it loads up on here, so that's good. Because I would have forgotten. That's what my friends, we can't give up. I should at least try. No way, you heard someone talking about that. Well, the day of the festival, so wrong. You mean the curse, right? You're talking about the curse of Higurashi that might happen tonight. I think that's Mion. It has happened 4 years in a row. Lots of people think that's gonna happen again tonight too. What they believe is their business, but it's not nice for them to talk about Tomitake-san and Takano-san like that. I think you should talk to them about it just in case, I think. I already did, but they didn't believe me. I bet they didn't, but it's too late if something really does happen. I think you should talk to Higurashi-san. I already did. I'm kinda impressed you've done all that, Rika-chama. I agree that they should take every precaution, especially tonight. Stories of mysterious deaths in Mizawa, commonly known as the curse of Higurashi-sama. I really don't want them to keep happening every year. Somebody might end up imitating it, and it's bad publicity for the village too. So if nothing happens tonight, it means the curse is over, right? We should definitely make sure that nothing happens then. What can we do? Are you suggesting that we should patrol around the village or something? I think patrolling might be even more careless. Do you really think we can do something about this? For starters, there's a chance some deviant trying to imitate serial murders might be within the Tanagashi Preparation Committee, so let's be wary of any unfamiliar faces. It's easy for us to tell strangers apart from the locals. We can spot them right away. I think we'll be fine. But Tomitake and Takano will still be killed. Rika-chan, alright, let's try to do what we can. I agree, we can't protect them all night, but let's stay with them at least until the festival's over. As long as we're there, the bad guys won't be able to do anything to them. I couldn't tell if they really believe me or not, but they listen to me at least. We decided to keep our eyes on Tomitake and Takano and protect them for the rest of the night. I guess I've done everything I can now, though it's hard to believe this is enough to prevent their deaths. I just have to hope nothing's happened when I wake up tomorrow morning. Do you think you can prevent Tomitake and Takano's death, Rika? Might be impossible. Their deaths might be the bell that portends my doom. Ow, ow, ow. It's like, yeah, I just think in terms of Final Fantasy now, it's like they've cast doom on you, and the first signs of it is their deaths. That's like when the countdown begins. But Takano told me earlier that even if they die, the mountain dogs are supposed to keep protecting me. We might bring in more squads from Tokyo too, even if the data situation will be different this time. What if it still doesn't work out? Then we'll just have to die. Anyway, I'm not going to give up until the very end. I'll struggle to my very limits. I won't give up and spend the rest of my time drinking wine. Do whatever you want to do, Rika. You still believe that nothing's going to change, aren't you? I don't believe anything, it's only fate. I keep getting hurt because I have hope, huh? If I'm an actress trying to get up on the stage, Hanyu is a real bystander. We have very different opinions when it comes to this. Rika, no matter what happens, don't give up. It sounds like you're convinced that nothing is going to change. Lately the things you say have been pissing me off. Ow, 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 ow. I wonder what it actually looks like in Japanese, her little kind of catchphrase. Wrong thing. just hiragana. Ow, 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 ow. Like, the character for what always stands out to me, because, like, I mean, it seems to be one of the, and it's right there as well. Then you got Demo or something, and then you got Nandaka or something like that. I assume that each time I see this character, the pronunciation is Nan. Because, or maybe it's just Na, actually. It could be. No. It depends. Like Nani, you know? Ni would have the hiragana. I know why the kanji character would be there, so it would just be Na. I think it'd be Nandaka and blah, blah. I don't know. Just one of the few kanji characters that I can recognize and be like, yeah, I could probably tell what that actually says and be actually able to say it. I understand. Hanyu keeps telling me not to get my hopes up because she cares about me. Because I hope to defeat fate, I get hurt when that hope is betrayed. And the more I get hurt, the closer I get to losing my mind and despairing. For Hanyu, that means losing her only friend. Losing me is probably the most unbearable thought for Hanyu. Then she has to live alone, unable to communicate with anyone else. And I believe that fate can be changed. Even when I didn't have that faith, I still believe that eventually I'd find my way to get out of this maze. Perhaps Hanyu knows something I don't. I might just be a goldfish inside of a fishbowl. There might be no way for me to escape my fate. We're stuck alone inside of a fishbowl, yet every day I knock on the glass, believing that I can break it someday. Hanyu keeps telling me that I'm wasting my time. If I get hurt and die, she would have to survive all by herself inside the fishbowl. With that, I think I finally understand our difference of opinions. Hanyu has lived for a much longer time than I have. Because of that, she understands the laws of this infinite spanning world better than I do. No matter how much I refute Hanyu, I can never refute the truth. Even so, I still have to believe in my own faith. I believe in a spear that will pierce the wall of fate. My faith will make the spear sharper than ever. We found Tomitake in the crowd and struck up conversation with him to keep him around as long as we could. However, as soon as the festival ended, they tried to leave. If they left now, I'd never see them again. Mion tried insisting they stay at her house for the night, but Tomitake refused. Everyone tried various ways to stop them from being alone because the murderer might be around. However, we eventually started to believe that they wanted to be alone for adult reasons, and I would end up suggesting that we wouldn't interrupt the two lovebirds.
Don't worry, Rika-chan, Tomitake. His son's a man after all. I'm sure he'll do anything to protect Takano-san.
Is that so? If something happens, you'll rescue me, right? That's the plan.
Well, we really should go now. It's getting pretty late.
Thank you for your concern. Don't make any assumptions. I'm heading to the clinic because I left something there. Takano-san has the keys, so we have to go together. Oh, I didn't know you were into playing doctor. Nah, I think he's more into playing gynecologist. Crash, bang, wham! Sound effects.
Oh, I wonder how they play doctor, I wonder.
Don't hit them just because you feel embarrassed. And as for you two, stop only getting along when you're making dirty jokes. Goodbye, everyone. Really, I'm just going back there to get what I forgot. Don't follow us, okay? Well, that just makes him more suspicious.
Oh.
What the fuck was that? What the hell?
Tomitake, please be careful. I don't think you're overreacting, Rika.
What a weird laugh and a yawn. Everyone laughed when Sadako yawned. It seemed like a good time to call it a day. It doesn't feel like I was able to change their fates. I just hope that they pay attention and that they're prepared for whatever faces them. I still might have a chance. All I can do now is pray. Goodbye, Tomitake-san. Please show us the pictures you took next time.
Make sure you wear your punishment shirt.
Man, I'm so jealous that you get to spend the night with a pretty lady. Woo woo! See you guys again. I guess it'll be in fall. That's if we don't get killed tonight. Good night, everyone. Good night. That was the best I could do on the night of Tanagashi. Where did I put my dictionary anyway? Oh, there it is. Please tell me what happened tonight. This is a little box. Please tell me what happened tonight. I don't even know if the cat is alive. You tell me what happened tonight. The cat in the box is dead for Rita. Fred. Rika been school. Isn't that Umineko stuff right there, though? I think. I've never actually read those novels. But it's kind of similar. I think maybe to Higurashi, but it's not at the same time. I have no idea. If I can't find this word in here, then I'll wait until, like, the plot develops a bit more so we can find a different word today. That will be relevant. Yeah, I think I checked that before, didn't I? Fate doesn't seem to be in the dictionary. Or if it is in the Japanese section, which would, you know, require knowing what, like, the word is to begin with, you know, in Japanese. Tomitake gathered up his paperwork and slipped it inside his bag. They sure were persistent. I wonder if they really want us dead. How rude of them, huh? It was only a dream. Please make sure that Dr. Irie examines Rika-chan. Her nightmares might be a symptom of something. If anything happens to her, it would be a disaster. Takano touched Tomitake's hand gently. As he turned bright red, Takano moved in closer and spoke. The way she acts is just too sexy, Tomitake thought. I wonder if it's actually that wording. Well, I don't see it, and I don't think it'd be in the dictionary, but let's check anyway. That'd be an odd word for the day, wouldn't it? I don't think they would have that word in Japanese, though. It'd probably just be, you know, in katakana, I'd assume. I mean, it has sex for, you know, gender and to have sex. But yeah, no sexy there. But it probably is, you know. It's like sexy or something like that. Is like, you know, it's pretty much just how it is in English. It's just got that Japanese pronunciation to it. That's the only difference. So I imagine sexy would pretty much be the same in that regard. But since I don't see the katakana characters here, I assume he actually worded it differently. Hey, Churro-san. I have something very important to tell you. Will you listen to me? What is it? You have something to tell me, too. I hope you don't see me glow out my throat in a dream. What would you say if I did? Takano stared at him with a mischievous look as if seducing him, and started whispering into his ear. I'm really surprised. That girl might have a godlike power after all. What does that mean? Takano smiled gently and pulled back her hair. Even seeing her do that made Tomitake's heart race. I really like you. That's good to know. Takano's fingers curled around Tomitake's chin, stroking, tickling, and caressing it. Her movements were very captivating and seductive. I've met a lot of guys, but none of them interested me as much as you. I've learned that someone with a personality like yours makes the ideal partner for me. You're willing to accept everything I stand for. I believe that you understand me completely. That's why I can give you everything I have. I want you to accept everything about me. Do you understand? Well, Takano-san, what's the matter? Your voice didn't really sound that affectionate. Tomitake knew from experience that he couldn't grasp what was on her mind when she wore a cold smile like that. Finally, it's almost here. It seemed as though she couldn't wait for something to happen. There was a chilling allure to her strange smile that made one question if something exciting was really about to happen. What's almost here? Tomitake asked, trying hard to resist the temptation. The day my dream comes true. Your dream? Yes, my dream. Didn't I tell you before? Or do you forget about everything we talk about in bed? No, I remember. Your dream. Tomitake's response was vague. Either he didn't remember or he hadn't understood it very well. Finally, the curse of Higurashi was going to come true. That's what I've been dreaming about ever since I was a child. Shiro-san, listen. I can't be with you anymore. What do you mean? You see, I belong in a different world. In Mizawa is where humans and demons once coexisted. That's why we met each other here. But all that is going to come to an end soon. The eclipse of the sun brought humans and demons together. Do you understand what I'm saying? Takano-san, did you drink a bit too much at the festival? You're drunk, right? Tonight is the night of farewells. Thank you for teaching me about the sunlit realm. Your warmth was like the glow of the midday sun. We really did have a wonderful relationship. I'm so sad that we have to say goodbye. She pulled herself away from Tomitake and slowly stepped back, as if signaling the time had come for them to part. I don't know what you're trying to say. What's this all about, Takano-san? I want you to make a decision. I want you to decide to stay with me and abandon the sunlit realm. If what you told me was all true, then I know you have no doubts. By that time, Tomitake understood that Takano was asking him to make an important decision. Could it be your... That's right. Shiro-san. Tomitake got up from his seat and looked Takano straight in the eyes. There was a faint glimmer of hostility within those eyes. Is your work more important than me? I thought so. I can't believe this. I trusted you. Those words were ones of rejection. Takano's lips twisted into a cruel smile. Higurashi-sama united the humans and the demons, but I guess he can't unite you and me. Takano slowly opened the door. 6 men in overalls were standing there at the ready. Tomitake was frozen in shock. The 6 men walked up to Tomitake with no expressions on their faces. It was immediately obvious that they were going to do something to harm him. What is this all about? The Mizawa syndrome is like a bomb with a lit fuse. Your plan is to dismantle that bomb before it explodes. However, there are some people in Tokyo who want to see it go off. No. What good will that do for anyone? Nobody ever does anything that isn't beneficial to them. Therefore, if they want that bomb to explode, it must be doing good for someone. Your question just now is a pretty meaningless one. can't believe this. There are people who want that to happen. And Misawa syndrome is a very dangerous disease. You know that as well as I do.
I do. It would be a disaster if it had an outbreak. Tokyo wouldn't be able to cover it up either.
Did that fraction bribe you?
It was actually my mission from the very start. I'm so sorry. We belonged in different worlds from the moment we first met.
What are you going to do to me?
It'd be a great help if you came over to our side. Of course, that would mean that you'd have to betray your own people.
You're expecting me to turn on them?
Shiro-san, your feelings for me are real. Will you support me? You'll be compensated, of course. If you wish, I'll dedicate my whole life to you. I'll do whatever you want me to, whenever and wherever you want. My body will belong to you. You can dominate me to satisfy your needs whenever you like. I'm going to be all yours. Hey, don't you want to dye this body of mine in your scent? Her words were a kind of assault, directly hammering at the motions man had difficulty resisting. They were like an evil spell to control his heart. Upon hearing them, Tomitake felt an unknown sensation rush up his spine as his feet froze in place, entranced. Wherever he forced himself to resist the temptation, he sealed the cracks in his wall of reason to stop Takano from forcefully entering his heart. I refuse! She had known from the start that Tomitake was going to refuse her. Even so, Takano let out a triumphant laugh. It's funny. She thought Tomitake would refuse right away. However, it took him a while to refuse because of how effective she was at seducing him. The time it took him to refuse her was one victory for Takano. One victory for her. For Tomitake, it was a time of humiliation. Takano continued to laugh. She sounded rather like an evil witch. I thought you would say that. That's why I love you so much. Takano raised up her right hand and gave a signal to the mounted dogs. Okanagi-kun, you're betraying me too. Wait, no. Okay, that's definitely Tomitake then.
Okanagi-kun, you're betraying me too. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Tomitake.
Are you surprised? The mountain dogs work for me. It was us who controlled this clinic all along. You and Dr. Eri are the only people who didn't know.
Shit! Tomitake moved into action, sensing the danger that was about to befall him. His fists thrust out as quick as lightning, knocking one man down before he could even blink. However, the other mountain dogs certainly weren't going to just stay there and watch. They all attacked him as one. He tried to strike back with an elbow, but he simply couldn't overcome the difference in numbers. Tomitake tried his best, but soon enough the mountain dogs had wrestled him to the ground. Damn it! Let go! Let me go! Stop struggling already! Ah!
They pinned him down so that he couldn't move an inch. Impressive, Jiro-san. You fought pretty well considering you were up against 6 people. Takano walked over and smiled while looking down at Tomitake. Hey, Jiro-san. I know you're going to refuse, but let me ask you one more time. Will you change your mind and join my side?
Never! I'll never join with you!
That's what I wanted to hear, so I could sever all my attachments. Takano was holding a small case in her hands. She opened it and showed Tomitake what was inside.
What is that syringe?
Oh, come now. I'm sure you know what it is.
No, we destroyed all of them.
Shiro-san, let me guess what you're thinking. Even if this is what you think it is, you should still have immunity because you took the vaccine. Isn't that what you're thinking? That's why you're not scared, right? Well, let me tell you something nice. That vaccine you took before you came here was fake. You may not have noticed it, but you're already an L3 patient of the Misawa syndrome. Shiro-san, you have a tendency to look away when you get an injection. That's not very smart. You should always make sure of what you're getting.
Shit! Let me go!
Tomitake struggled to get away, but he simply couldn't move. Upon seeing his sorry state, Takano laughed with glee. I'm sure you know very well about H173. You'll become infected instantly and will virtually become an L5 patient. You saw how the experiment turned out now. The subject was displaying extreme irritation in the neck and armpit areas. Based on our past studies, patients with L3 suffer from extraordinary irritation in their lymph nodes. Might be an antigen-antibody reaction. In other words, Shiro-san. If you're lucky, you might be able to die just as Rika-chan predicted. Are you going to kill yourself or become disabled for life? Which would you prefer? Which one, Shiro-san?
Stop!
It's going to be too difficult to give him the injection like this. Put him to sleep, please. One of the men covered Tomitake's mouth with a towel soaked in some kind of chemical. He tried to fight it off with all his might, but his strength eventually left him, and he became as quiet as a beached whale. Takano struck his face to make sure that he couldn't resist. Then she brought the needle towards his throat. She pushed it right into his skin. As she squeezed down on the syringe's plunger, the skin surrounding the tip of the needle swelled up. Eventually the contents were absorbed into his body. Goodbye, Shiro-san. When you wake up, you'll be in the middle of a wonderful nightmare. The mountain dogs finally got off of him. He couldn't even twitch. Someone put him in my trunk. Two of the men lifted up Tomitake and carried him outside. Oh, hold on. I'm sure he'd be happy if I left him his bicycle. That way he can enjoy cycling in hell too. The mountain dogs all quietly laughed at the joke. We are now going to commence Operation Doomsday. They stopped laughing as she began to speak. Okanaki, you wait for the contract from headquarters. Keep your eyes on Dr. Irie. Also keep tabs on Rika Friedrich too. I don't know what kind of power she has, but she predicted how Tomitake was going to die. I'm very curious about her, but too bad.
Roger, I'll take care of things there. Here. Please be careful on your way.
There's not much to be careful of. By the way, where's Dr. Irie?
I'm sure he's attending the festival's after party. He'll still be at Shrine. Still at Shrine.
I wish I could see the look of panic on that nerd's face. The man and the dog started laughing again too. Takano checked the time on our watch. It was nearly 10 p.m. Most people must have left the festival for home. Those people still there were probably enjoying the after party while getting drunk inside the shrine. It was a good time for her to leave without being seen by anyone. I'm leaving now. I'm going to go and die. After saying that, she left the clinic alone. She left through the back door. She left amid the moonlight, the singing of insects and the sound of a river. It was a typical night in Mizawa. While enjoying all these sensations, Takano got inside her car. Tomitake was sleeping inside the trunk. His bicycle, on the other hand, was loaded into her back seat. How ironic. Your bicycle has a better seat than you. I'll let you out of there soon. I should leave him by the road that leads to Okinawa. That'll be a good spot. I mean, I've just been reading this whole thing the whole time here and not stopped to ramble or anything, but it's just like, take it in, man. Take it in. Fucking, this is the big reveal right here. Honestly, despite how obvious it should seem that Takano was the one behind this shit all along, because, you know, she's always been kind of shady, you know. But honestly, the first time I read the novels, I didn't actually expect this twist. I don't know how the hell I did not expect it. I mean, you could expect the twist to be coming, but not like how it would happen. But I guess Takano has no sense of originality because she does the same shit in every world. Takano found a good place to drop him off, but she gave up on it since there was a police cruiser parked in the area. I mean, that kind of changes her plans just a little bit. She figured that they were patrolling to make sure the 5th year's curse didn't happen. Good job, officers. No one would ever suspect that there's a curse packed in my trunk right now. That evil witch. Takano drove onto less lit streets with rougher roads. Eventually the mountain road ended and she was surrounded by darkness. There were rice fields nearby. She could tell by the sound of the croaking frogs. Takano parked her car by the pitch-black roadside. She had to stop here, otherwise she'd be too close to a residential area. Indeed, she was nearly in Okuma. She would have dumped him earlier, but the police cruiser had foiled that plan. Takano pulled Tomitake out of the trunk and left him by the road. She also left him his bicycle. Tomitake let out a small groan. It probably wouldn't be long until he woke up. Goodbye, Jiro-san. Your awkward sweet talk was very entertaining. I wish I could hear it again. You'll be waking up soon. By that time you'll be in the final stage of L5. After a futile struggle, you'll meet with a miserable demise. I wonder if you really are going to claw out your throat and die. Wish I could be here to see it. Your mysterious death and my disappearance will complete the 5th year's curse of Oyashiro-sama. The story of the curse of Oyashiro-sama will be firmly established. You should feel honored, Jiro-san. You're going to be a part of history. You might be losing your life here, but in a way, you're going to live for eternity. You know, in a way they kind of do because of the whole looping worlds. That was her last farewell to Tomitake. I mean, the whole thing is, like, because Rika dies every time, the world just loops over. And as we've seen in other arcs where it doesn't necessarily end on like a kind of note like that, it ultimately does end with everyone dying, it seems. And Takano is clearly the one behind this shit now. And it's like, it makes sense why Rika is not being able to change fate, because Rika doesn't even know how she dies. If she had known that it was Takano, then she would have taken a vastly different, approach to trying to prevent her own death in the lead up to, this. Takano got back inside her car and started driving. She could see the place she left Tomitake in her rearview mirror, but it was already shrouded in darkness. That evil witch! Takano drove through the main street of Okuma and made a few turns, heading for the dark mountains in the distance. It had been a while since she left Hinamizawa. It was almost midnight. She might have already made it to the neighboring prefecture. It was difficult to tell because she couldn't really see anything in the darkness. Takano stopped her car in the middle of all that. After turning off both the engine and the headlights, there really was nothing but darkness surrounding her. It was as if time itself had stopped. Takano wasn't sure how long she waited, but eventually she saw the headlights of a car blinking twice. She blinked her own headlights back at it. Soon she saw several people walking towards her. 2 men wearing blue overalls knocked on the window of Takano's car. Obligingly, she opened it. They looked over her face and the paperwork they had in their hands. Hello, I'm Takano. After confirming her identification, they called someone over the radio. Hello, we've got the lady. Anyone following? No one is after you. You're clear for 400 meters. Nobody's following us. Your work is much appreciated. Please come with us to the command vehicle. I'll take your paperwork. The paperwork is inside the trunk. Here's the key. I do need some coffee. Could you get me some? The command vehicle was a trailer with a bunch of high-tech communication equipment inside. It's like, the plot is like, we finally see what is actually the cause of, like, all the shit that hits the fan and all that.
but it's still not quite as simple as, oh yeah, now we know that Takano and her mountain dogs are behind it, but how far does this go? And why? That vehicle was driven by high-tech equipment inside. The light of the electric equipment shone beautifully in the dark. Here's your coffee, Major. An old man in blue overalls offered her a paper cup. Thank you. What's going on with my corpse? They finished setting up in Gifu Prefecture. Gifu? Did I burn to death in the mountains of Gifu? I'm not sure about the cause of death. I'll confirm it with someone. Operation Doomsday. That was the name of their mission. The goal of the operation's first stage was Takano's escape from Higurashi and the extraction of 18 specified classified documents. Specific. That goal had been completed. Assassinating the liaison from Tokyo, Tomitake, was also one of the goals. That one also had been completed in the way Takano had planned. He was not killed that way just because Takano had wanted to see it. It was intentionally planned that way so that the office in Tokyo would be suspicious of the Irie Institute. Ah, that's why. They were trying to create a story that the Institute was upset with the recent budget cuts and the cancellation of their study. Tomitake's mysterious death would be a suitable way to persuade people. Tomitake was not the only one who was expected to die. Takano was expected to do so as well. However, Takano didn't really need to die herself. They had acquired a substitute body for her, so she didn't have to actually die. What? Did they kill someone else? To, pass it off as her? Takano had no idea how they got the body. According to what she heard, the team in Gifu took care of everything. Once Tomitake and Takano were dead, Tokyo would definitely grow suspicious of the Irie Institute. The main purpose of this mission was to make the Institute look reckless. Sorry, Major, there's been a problem in Gifu. A problem? What sort of problem? They made a mistake with the corpse. The body has already been dead for 24 hours. Ah yeah, if you recall, in previous arcs, that was one of the bits of information that came up, which was like, wait, that doesn't add up. Her body was dead 24 hours before that, so it doesn't add up. I see, what's that supposed to mean? It means that you were already dead yesterday. I think it was Luigi that had that information in previous arcs, and when he'd tell characters, I think it might have been Rena. Yeah, it was definitely Rena who was in the previous arc, I think. And Rena was like, what the hell? But that doesn't make sense! Which, further kind of went with her paranoia. When you think about it, the previous arc, Takano was the one that, led Rena down the path of insanity by, giving her research and shit. Takano's body was supposed to be selected from the corpses of people who had died the same day. So they probably nicked it from a morgue somewhere. The plan was to then bury the body and make identification of the corpse more difficult. They had found a suitable body for the plan. However, they just found out that it would be dead for over a day. That would create a hole in their plans. They're going to collect another body to use instead. No, that's fine. We can still use that body as me. Huh? But that would mean... The messenger for your Shirosama was long dead, but came to the festival regardless. That's a good one. That's a very, very good one. Takano laughed with satisfaction for a while. The other people in the vehicle couldn't understand why Takano was laughing so much. Takano continued to laugh as if it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. Because she's freaking crazy. Go ahead, call the team in Gifu and tell them to stop looking for another body. I think this will make for an interesting twist. Are you sure? Shouldn't you be more cautious? Don't worry. Everyone saw me or Takano walking around at the Watanagashi festival. Even if the forensics lab does find out that the body's been dead for more than a day, you'll just think that the test results were wrong. Takano almost seemed to be enjoying the risk. Roger, I'll notify them.
By the way, was my body burned inside of an oil drum?
Yes, it seems someone already discovered it on a mountain near the freeway.
Douglas seemed surprised to hear that from him. Then she started laughing strangely again. Nobody could figure out what she was laughing like, why she was laughing like that. I see. The reincarnation voice Shiro-sama really is gifted. I have to admit, she has a supernatural power that defies explanation. Tell the mountain dogs in Himizawa to tighten up security on R.
Roger. Major, the Ultimate Police Department has discovered the body of Tomitake.
They have, huh? The show is about to begin.
Evil. Rika-san, Dr. Irie has arrived. Oh, thank you for coming. So what do you think, Dr. Irie?
She entered the area enclosed by a blue top. In there, people from forensics were taking pictures of the dead body from various angles. Irie was squatting down next to the dead body of Jiro Tomitake. When he stood up, he was white as a sheet.
I can't believe it. Yep, I can't believe it either. As far as I can see, he clawed out his throat with his bare hands. This isn't a normal way to die. Most likely some kind of dangerous drug must have caused it. You're saying that he was a drug addict? I don't know, was he? It's going to be my job to find that out. Rika-san, what's this 2x4 doing here? I think he was swinging it around, and then he threw it away, and he had more fun clawing at his throat, I guess.
Was it in the first arc, Onikakushi, where it was kind of theorized that he might have been fighting off multiple people before he died? I mean, it's all coming together now that we see behind the curtain here. It's like, so that's what was going on all along. That slimy motherfucker. Why was he swinging the 2x4 around?
He probably did it in self-defense. Did he notice there are several external injuries on his body?
And that makes sense as well, because he had to be tackled down, didn't he?
Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is this. He was attacked by someone on his way home talking to me after the festival. He was seized by the culprit, given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug, went crazy, and died.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's just that he has no idea who did that, and how organized it actually is.
I've never heard of any drug that can make people claw at their throats. I'm not an expert on it either, but they say self-harm is one of the terminal symptoms for drug addicts, right? Well, I'm sure the old man in forensic will take care of the investigation. Excuse me, Oisha-san. We found a bicycle believed to belong to Jiro Tomitake a mile away from here. Oh, is that so? Thank you. Did you find anything on it? Not yet. They're investigating it right now. So that means the place where the bicycle was found is most likely the place he was attacked. And he ran away from the culprit and came here.
Rishi frowned, crossing his arms in front of his chest. No, that's not even close, so is she? He was attacked at the clinic. Which, you know, if they found out that, then they would be a lot more suspicious of Irie then, wouldn't they, really? He was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitake, and he kept saying the same thing. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Irie knew right away that Tomitake's death was caused by the terminal symptoms of Hinibizawa syndrome. He hadn't swung the 2x4 at a real person, but probably saw some kind of hallucination due to the L5 symptoms. Violent reactions to hallucinations is one of the clearest characteristics of the terminal stage. However, Tomitake supposedly took a vaccine before he came to the village. There was no way he could reach L5 symptoms in such a short period of time. You know, it's a good thing they did knock him out, because can you imagine him having a violent reaction? He's a freaking big-ass built dude, man. Irie didn't want to believe it, but it was obvious that someone intentionally injected him with the pathogen. The pathogen must have been strong enough to give him L5 symptoms immediately. The only drug that can do that is H173, a chemical weapon that induces an acute onset of symptoms. It makes people hallucinate, which inevitably leads to a horrible death. It's the absolute worst kind of demon. However, they had destroyed all of it due to its dangerous nature. All that was left were helpful chemicals, such as vaccines and treatment drugs. Tomitake was their liaison from Tokyo. I said, whoever killed him must have had full knowledge about him and this drug. How would that person know he was their liaison, whatever the pronunciation is? It was then that Irie thought of Takano. Takano is also a watchdog from Tokyo. She's something like a superintendent. It was quite possible that something bad had happened to her too. Well, he's not suspecting her though. What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san? What? Oh, are you talking about your nurse? I think she was with him. Is she okay? Do you know her phone number? Of course. Go-chan. Get her phone number from Dr. Irie and have someone at the station call her home. Understood. Doctor, can I have the number? Yes, here it is. The guy got the phone number, repeated it to make sure he got it right, and dashed out of the lieutenant. Doctor, Takano-san and Tomitake-san were close friends, weren't they? Yes. Have you heard about any troubles between them? No, not even once. They were very close friends. Tomitake and Takano weren't just in a close relationship. They were co-workers sent from Tokyo. They had access to information that even Irie didn't. There's no way there was trouble between them. Well, I hope she's alright. In the worst case scenario, she could be dead. Or she could even be the perp. I see. Nurses do have access to dangerous drugs, don't they? Well, you're thinking correctly there. She's the perp. Of course, you don't have any proof, unfortunately. We don't have any drugs like that in my clinic. Even if we did, we'd store them away with extra care. There's no way Takano-san could smuggle out a drug from my clinic. But it's easier for nurses to do it than for regular people, right? Like I said, I've never heard of a drug like that. I don't have anything like that in my clinic. Irie made clumsy excuses while he tried to piece together what was going on. However, Irie had no means of knowing the state of affairs in Tokyo, and he couldn't reach any further conclusions. So it was easy to laugh at him as though he's a frog trapped in a well. Uesha-san, she isn't home. Standby unit says they're going to go to her house to check. Doctor, can you give me your address? Hubert-chan, can you also check if the police headquarters has found any unidentified female bodies tonight? Maybe we should check the other prefectures too, with the other prefectures. And a search demands to call all the nearby prefectural headquarters and ask if they have any identified female bodies. Yes, sir. The police department is contracting the Gifu Prefectural Police Department. Wait, what? Are you sure about this, Major? Sure, I don't mind. Just leave it there. Tombstay's almost arrived anyway. That's an awkward transition to freaking Takano's perspective. Everyone will be destroyed before they even find out that the time of death doesn't match. Evil witch. Takano!